Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 10 free agents that I think are pretty underrated and are going to get paid more than most people expect. The first player we'll be talking about is Kenneth Gainwell, who led the Steelers in catches last season with 73 and led the team in touchdowns with 8 and had 1,023 yards from scrimmage. He didn't really get used much in Philly and had 100 carries for the first time in his career, making the most out of it, averaging 4.7 yards per carry and being a really good pass catcher, constantly making guys miss in space and getting yards after the catch, and is one of the best dual threat running backs on the market. His spot track market value is only $3 million, but I'd expect them to be more in the 6 to 8 range.
Jalen Hawkins was incredible for the Patriots this year, being a key contributor in an elite defense and lockdown secondary, and looks to have found his home in New England, assuming they bring him back for a while. He was really good in coverage and was a playmaker, having 1.5 sacks, 4 picks, and 1 forced fumble. Devin Bush had a quietly really great season and seems to be reviving his career in Cleveland. He was one of the best coverage linebackers, being third in passer rating against, and had 3 picks, with 2 being returned for touchdowns, along with 2 forced fumbles. And in total, he had 2 sacks and 125 total tackles, with 7 tackles for loss. He was also good at stopping the run, and a big reason why the Browns' defense was so good, and is one of the best free agent linebackers on the market, and I would have to assume Cleveland tries to bring him back. His market value is around $9 million on Spotrac, which I say is fair, but I'd probably put him at a little more, maybe like 10 to 12 million. Jalen Naylor has been a really solid wide receiver 3 for the Vikings. They could get even signed to be a wide receiver 2, and he'll get paid more than people expect and more than his $4 to $5 million market value. He's a deep threat receiver that only caught 29 passes, but he had 444 yards, averaging 15.3 yards per catch, which was 7th among receivers, and had 4 touchdowns. And he also only dropped 1 pass last year. Jamel Dean was incredible this year, only allowing 25 catches for 310 yards and 1 touchdown through 14 games. He had a below 50% completion percentage when targeted, and had the lowest passer rating when targeted among qualifying corners, and he also forced 2 fumbles and had 3 picks. Montaric Brown was a 7th round pick by the Jaguars in 2022 and really broke out this year, being a key contributor for a Jaguars defense that went from one of the worst to one of the best in just a year. On the year, he had 9 pass breakups and allowed around 360 yards for 3 touchdowns, with a 56% completion rate against and 73.5 passer rating against, which are solid numbers. His market value is around $9 million, and he should be a really good option for any team that needs a corner too. Alquid Muhammad had double-digit sacks last year, and you probably never even heard of him. Having Aiden Hutchinson on the other side definitely helps, and I doubt he has double-digit sacks next year, but he had 9 tackles for loss, 53 QB pressures, and 9 QB hits according to PFF, and was 20th among edge rushers and pressures, giving me assurance that double-digit sacks wasn't just a complete anomaly. Eric Stokes was quietly really good for the Raiders last year, only allowing 28 catches for 260 yards and 1 touchdown, which was the least yards allowed by qualifying corners in the league. He was top 10 in yards per catch allowed, only allowing 9.3 yards per catch, and had a passer rating of 77.2 when targeted. He's a former first-round pick by the Packers who never really worked out, but he might be reviving his career. Rasul Douglas was one of the few bright spots on the Dolphins defense that was very bad, with Douglas allowing 410 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had 9 pass breakups and only allowed 10 yards per catch, and a 72.6 passer rating when targeted, being top 20 in all 3 categories. James Pierre was a career backup on the Steelers who would only play due to injury, but he got his shot this year and had an amazing year, being graded as the 2nd best corner in the league by PFF and Pro Football Network. He allowed the 2nd lowest passer rating among 114 corners and only allowed about 140 yards and no touchdowns through 14 games and 377 snaps, and he also had 9 pass breakups. According to Spotrac, his market value is around $1.9 million, but I think he'll probably sign a deal worth $5 to $8 million a year, and Pittsburgh probably tries to bring him back. Thanks for watching.